Hi, everybody. I'm Graddles.
I'm Sunken Ship.
I'm Joy, and this is
Ladies in the City.
Welcome to our take on City Skylines multiplayer.
Ladies in the City will premiere every Sunday at 12:30 Eastern.
We'd like your feedback, so please come hang out with us. And don't forget to
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey everyone, it's Raid Kitty, and I'm here with my Raid Kitty S'mores, and today I'm in Ladies in the City! I am so blessed to have been asked to be a guest spot, so I came in here and I'm building a zoo. And I unlocked a piece of land, and I think we're gonna get started. I just want to thank Joy Build City and Graddles and Sunken Ship to have allowed me this great opportunity. And no great zoo starts without a great parking lot. I found these awesome hidden vanilla parking networks, so we're going to use them to build a parking lot, which our zoo entrance is going to be placed off of. Now we're going to perform some magic today because I definitely didn't do this for 6 hours, and I definitely didn't have 6 hours of footage to cut down into a 40-minute premiere. So, we're performing magic. But honestly though, I had a great time and I'm really excited for you guys to see this build. So let's put that zoo entrance in and get this thing started. So we're gonna put in just the very base entrance of our zoo. We're not gonna do a whole lot. We're just gonna start simple. Put a couple paths in, and then my goal is to put all of the base structures roughly where I want them, and then we will connect it later. By being able to put the base structures in there, I get a rough idea of where I want everything, and the zoos that I've at least been to have been broken up into segments, right? So you have like a African wing, and then you have like a rainforest wing, and you have all these great areas, and I really wanted to kind of emulate that with how I'm going to be placing these structures. So at the very entrance, we're placing the zoo cafe and a souvenir shop, and that way people can get in, get out, and buy lots of stuff. So like I said, we're putting in the basic paths, and this is just to give us a simple idea of where we're going to be placing our other paths later. And like I did with my build where I did the county fairs, I want this to be more than just a zoo and zoo assets, right? So we're going to be using park assets. I'm going to be using assets in different ways. Look, I got a biodome in there as a special garden. We're just gonna kind of be playing around. I found these cool barns that have been downloaded. Look at them, they're so cool. Those are gonna be a petting zoo. So in order to kind of get that to work though, I am using the Parkify mod. So if you don't have the Parkify mod, what Parkify allows you to do is to place other park buildings that would normally require roads, or buildings in general that would require roads, and place them into a park area without having roads on there. Parkify unfortunately does not eliminate the need for police services or fire services, so you will still get those kind of dinging out and around every once in a while, but nothing too crazy. Oh look, some giraffes. Hi giraffes! I must have moved the enclosure. I'd be happy if I walked out and just saw some giraffes sitting there. Alright, so now we're starting to place some of our animal exhibits, and we're just gonna kind of sprinkle them around and get like I said, an idea of where I want all of these exhibits and bathrooms and amenities to be placed. And I believe I'm going to use most of the animal exhibits. I think there's one or two I might leave out, but I won't really know until I see how it gets placed. I don't want it to be too crowded. I want it to feel kind of like a nature reserve where there's lots of trees and little hidden areas to walk. So, that kind of stuff. But let's zoom out here and look at the basic structure of where everything's laid out. And I'm pretty happy with it, so let's get detailing. The first thing we're gonna do is detail our parking lot. If you've watched my parking lot video where I found these vanilla parking lots, hint it was from Ladies in the City that I found them, you'll remember that they don't actually function, but I think that that's okay. If we want them to function later, we can make it in the asset creator, but this is more just for decoration. So I'm going to use Move It, and we're going to place all of these new parking stalls all along our awesome parking lot. Parking lots are one of the first places that we see when we go anywhere, and so I want to make sure that people have a place to rest and relax before going in. So we're going to make this one heck of an interesting parking lot. We're going to put some hedges, we're going to put some trees, and I'm thinking about even putting a place to sit. I want it to be welcoming and inviting and get people excited for the jungly, naturey type of feeling that they're going to get when they walk into the zoo. So let's go grab some of the trees that are naturally on the map, and these are some of the base trees that we're going to use to fill out the entire empty area of the zoo that we're not putting assets in. So we're going to clump together these trees. I'm going to copy them with Move It, and I'm thinking about sticking it between the two halves of the parking lot. So we're just going to place them here. And let's put a path in between so people can walk through. And what if... Yeah, there we go. Let's put a path. And I think I'm going to put some lighting, maybe a gazebo, some places to sit. Make it look all nice. Places for families to be able to sit before they go into the park to have their picnic lunch, maybe their picnic breakfast. Just kind of relax before going in. It's a lot of walking when you go to a zoo, let me tell you. And then this cute little place here, again, entrance is the first place we see. So let's decorate it up and add some greenery. Awesome. I'm loving how this looks. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a fence around the entirety of the zoo. We want to make sure that the visitors feel safe inside and that the zoo does not have any sneaky people sneaking in when they have not paid yet. Plus, it'll also protect random cars from driving in. They're just a safety thing all around. Look at that. Now let's kind of curve this area a little bit, fix it up, and I think the fencing will be done. Okay, so now that the fencing's done, I think it's time to start hooking up the paths throughout the entire zoo. This is going to take me a little bit because I want the paths to be interesting and dynamic. I want there to feel like there's multiple different routes that can be taken, but I want each section of the zoo to have almost like a loop that you can walk. The other thing that I found is I really, really love the zoo path race sections, and so I want to use kind of that to create a railing section. So we're just gonna spend some time connecting everything up, and I will be back with you when all of the paths have been completed. I just love this raised path. Like, look at it. It just looks so cool. I'm really just liking the way that I'm laying out these dynamic paths. There's lots of interesting shapes and avenues that these people can take. I like how it's broken up. It's not just a grid. This is my first time that I've really done a zoo like this. My zoos tend to be kind of pretty boring, actually. And so this was a lot of fun, and I just had such a good time. And I know I keep saying that, but I really did. I had a great time. And I wanted to include lots of different amenities, so I included multiple playgrounds, lots of bathrooms, a lot of places, you know, to eat, things to see, because it's a zoo. It's a, you know, you don't just go for 20 minutes or an hour. You're going to be there walking around and, you know, spending hours. I was going to say days, not days, hours. And so you really want it to be a full, you know, family affair for everyone involved, where, you know, mom and dad can go sit down while kids play. Babysitter can kick back and relax while kids play. You know, dad can go see monkeys while mom goes and, you know, sees giraffes while kids run around and wreak havoc. You know, all the great things that come with zoos. I've definitely never once wreaked havoc at a zoo. I don't know what you're talking about. Also, it just reminded me, for any people who played Pokemon Go, do you remember when zoos and like SeaWorld had to put up all the signs that are like, don't break into enclosures to get Pokemon? Because I do. Not because I ever broke into an enclosure. All right, so I found this really interesting idea. What if we put the flamingo enclosure in the middle of a lake? Oh, look, the great flamingo migration. Goodbye, flamingos. You're going to get a lake, I promise. So let's go ahead and build a little water feature in the zoo. I think it'd be really cool if we can just like put the flamingo exhibit on an island. Yeah, we're going to put the flamingo exhibit on an island. Let's do that. So I'm going to get a little island, and we're going to move the flamingo exhibit in. And I'll smooth out the edges of the square island later, but I kind of just want to get an idea of where it's going to go. We're going to use the water tool and get some water in there. And here comes the water. Oh, and the flamingos. Look at them all go. Go, flamingos, quick. Oh, I think flamingos can swim, right? Right? So now we're going to connect the Flamingo Island with bridges. And this is where being able to use the bridges in other parts of the zoo creates a continuity. I really like the raised zoo paths. I don't know what it is. I like the vines underneath. It just makes me so happy. So let's keep going. Just look at it. Look at it. All right, so now I want to stick a restaurant pier because I think that would be so cool to have a little restaurant pier. You go to Flamingo Island, you get to go out, you get to sit on the pier, have some lunch, look at the animals. I think it's right near the lions. Look at La Leons. I don't even think that's Spanish, but my partner and I call them leons. All right, so let's smooth out this island finally. Make it look not as square. Much better. Well, kind of. Okay, so now we're going to start doing more detailing and creating a sense of place around the zoo. Just like some of my other builds, lots of places to sit, lots of places to eat, lots of shade. It gets hot. You need to be covered. You want to avoid, baking in the sun and sunstroke. Heat stroke, really, really scary. Sun poisoning, oh man, bad time. So I just want to create, fenced in places. It's things like this, just taking the time to detail and put fences and plants and just little areas that make something feel real, And this is not everyone's cup of tea. And, you play the game how you want. If you don't want to spend 6 hours building a zoo, please don't. I did kind of want to spend 6 hours building a zoo. And so, the crazy person in me wanted to try and do section by section detailing, and I'm pretty sure I get to that later, but right now I was like, ooh, this needs surface painting. Ooh, this needs surface painting. So I apologize for the jumpy surface painting, but I just wanted to create little areas. And what is going on? Why are there so many chirpers? Oh my god, they look like they're protesting. What are you guys protesting? Chirpers. Got an alligator. Hi, S'mores. She wants to protest too. Oh man, look at them all. I hope they're not, well, they're all welcoming. Welcoming everyone. Oh, hello, dead person. They're definitely welcoming everyone. Welcome to the afterlife. Goodbye. All right, anyway, back to detailing. Could you imagine coming to a zoo and you walk out front and there's a ton of people protesting in mascot costumes, and then out comes a casket? Like, oh man, what kind of zoo did I make? Sorry, ladies. Oh, thanks, S'mores. She just put her behind in my face. I am very cute. Anyway, so like I said, look how cool this is. It feels very naturey. I would love to go to the zoo like this. It would make me so happy. Just more trees. Shukaboa and his trees. Between Shukaboa and Joy Build Cities, I found a love for trees and decorating. And I love the new vanilla trees. It's just like, this has come at a great time. I get to sit here. I'm all excited. Get to decorate. It's great. I'm going to spend some time, around each of these exhibits, really diving in and decorating, putting fences, again, putting seating. So around this bird enclosure, bird exhibit. I like birdhouse. We're going to put some places to sit, maybe a place to get a drink, but I don't want people walking behind the exhibit, right? We want to keep them in front. So we're going to, swan got out. So we're going to lock them forward. So let's place not a full gazebo, but this prop gazebo. And some places to sit, maybe a clock. Put some benches. Look how cool it is. You can sit with birds, rocks. It's like a little like secluded area. I love it. I just love it. We're just gonna kind of finish off this area. Trees, rocks, nature. S'mores trying to step on everything I love. Hint, she did step on everything I loved because she muted my microphone, but I caught it this time. Ain't no can coming in here, S'mores. Just kidding, I love you. I mean, I love you anyway. There's nothing in that statement that said I don't love you. Gotta love cats, man. Anyway, so this area by the giraffe exhibit and the monkey palace, I'm thinking about putting a little plaza, some trees, maybe a little picnic area for families. So that way when they're working their way around the lake, just more places to sit, places to enjoy, overlook everything that's going on. Gotta decorate behind the building too. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I love it. Little picnic area, little ice cream, little bit of pop. Add a couple benches. Oh, look at these little family areas. I think, we're going to add some trees and put some benches in. Yeah. Oh, no. Tables, not benches. I forgot what I put in there. Good enough. All right. So this cliff edge is bothering me. So I'm going to take the shrubbery. I'm going to go around. I'm going to go around like 2 or 3 times to really layer it up. I'm going to use different heights. I'm going to use different shrubs. And I'm going to do that for both the exterior and the interior. It's gonna kind of look like moss, algae, plant growth. Totally not just to hide the ugliness, which is that gray sheer cliff. Ugh, much better. Much better. All right, time to do the inside. All right, Flamingo Island, you're almost completely decorated out, detailed up. Let's put in some trees, maybe some rocks and flowers, and a fence. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying this episode. I normally ask for likes and comments at the end, but I'm just sticking it out there. So give me some love. If you did enjoy this episode, give me a like, or if you are enjoying it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, just want to say hi, leave me a comment. And give the other ladies in this build some extra love. Maybe go raid their channels, find a video that you haven't seen before, and give it extra likes from Raid Kitty. And for Raid Kitty, all of their channels are going to be down in the description. The full playlist is going to be down in the description. These ladies are absolute geniuses in what they do, and I want nothing but the best for them. And I just appreciate all that they've done for me. Anyway, back to the zoo. Let's build a rock climbing area right off the edge of the cliff, right by the edge of the water, because that's safe. So around the rock climbing area, I'm going to stick some regular rocks to kind of encompass it on 2 sides, I guess. Technically 3, the front's unencompassed. Look at it. So nice. And I would like to imagine that on that back edge, there would be instead of like a free bouldering site, there would be like the handheld ones, maybe different difficulties, little bells for kids, that kind of stuff. Oh, it came together so nicely. And this is what I'm talking about, putting these little food areas, putting a lot of the gazebos, putting, touristy things and park things and zoo things and amusement park things all in one area makes it super engaging and fun, at least for me. And it just creates such a sense of place. I can envision myself. I mean, how often do you go to the zoo and not see a single ride or a single place to eat, right? It just doesn't happen. Even a playground or a climbing frame, something. And I'm trying to emulate that with this build. And of course, I had to put my 2 favorite signs, the ice cream spinny doodad and the what looks like a soda pop top. I feel like if you guys take anything away from, these kind of specialty builds that I get to do and that I'm blessed to do, is find what makes this game fun for you and just do it. For me, it's a sense of pride and accomplishment when I finish something big like this. I love just plopping down buildings and zoning and see what happens, but I also love finding these little niche areas and building something cool. Something that I would love as a person to go and find. And that's just kind of why I like playing this game. I don't even want to know how many hours I have in this game, and I keep discovering new things I love. Heck, if you want to rival me and make the worst possible zoo, I would love to see a zoo from hell. I mean, not really, because hell animals terrify me. But like, do what makes you happy. As you can tell when I do voiceovers, I just like to talk out my butt. So at least I hope the conversation down in the chat is more entertaining than my awkward silences. Wait a minute. Is that connected to the road? Oh, crap. Okay, well, people have been sneaking in and not paying. Tisk, tisk. Look at them. They're all confused. They're all like little ants. They're like, oh no! Anyway. So I have this really cool idea of building a zip line. And the only thing that I know that has some semblance of like lines is the cable car stop. Like the cable car attachment. So I'm going to attempt to build a zip line using the nature reserve climbing like lookout tower and anarchying that over top of the cable car. So let's watch. So I put down the climbing towers. I'm going to take the cable car stop and drag it. Now watch this. The cable car pole disappears and all that's left is these 2 little like string wire things. Like, look at it. Tell me that doesn't look like a zip line. So I've built zip lines. And of course they're not functional and cable cars aren't running on them, but we're playing pretend. And I just think I love that layering and I like using things that aren't supposed to be used that way. So yeah, the nature reserve lookout tower and you anarchy in the cable car lines or the cable car, cable car, right? You know what I'm talking about. Makes a pretty awesome zip line. Could you imagine like going over a rhino exhibit? So fun. All right, so let's stick in a community garden. Stick it over here instead. So let's move it. And I think I'm going to extend it out and fill in this entire area behind and to the right of the community garden with a similar pattern of decoration, right? So we're going to fill in this whole area with gravel or dirt, I guess. And we're going to use some fencing that's similar, as well as the tiles that are similar. And, you know, while people aren't going to come in and use these, it's a prop. I like the decoration. I think it's really cool. It, in my opinion, kind of beats having the two of them next to each other because I get to keep that really awesome curve of the path. So I'm okay just playing pretend. I played pretend a lot as a kid, and now I get to play it in video games. All right, so it's coming along nicely. So let's place some of these fruit trees. And some flower beds. Oh, it looks so nice. All right, and I think in this little corner behind, we'll place some more trees. Oh, it came together so nice. I'm loving it. So happy with it. And one thing you'll notice is with the zip line, I'm very cognizant of where my trees are. So I'm like checking to make sure that these poor kids aren't going to be like banging their legs on trees. I don't want to be liable for losses of limb. Ah, just look at it. Little sense of place. All right, so now we're going to just fill in some of the area that's left here with gravel, kind of near that center area where the carousel is. We're going to put some vendors and lots of seating. Personally, I would not want to sit right underneath the zip line. Not just because of potential upchuck, but shoes, phones, hats. Now, if quarters started raining from the sky, I might want to sit there. Look at it. Oh, it's just making me so happy. I love it. I love it. Hoping you guys are liking it too. Okay, so over at the petting zoo in the back, I want some exterior pens, right? So we're gonna build some using, I think these are the antelope fences from from the antelope enclosure. So I'm going to make one, and then we're going to use Move It to copy and place them around. Look at that. And now we can just pretend that they're animals. You go into the inside petting zoo, and then you can come out to the outside one. Perfect. All right, so over here, kind of building off again that central area of the zoo. Going to add some more seating. Just more nature. And then if you remember before, I've used the sightseeing bus stop as like a lemonade stand because I think it looks like a lemonade stand. So I placed one in. Man, the zoo is rocking and rolling. Look at all these people. Look at them all. You can see them all like scattered around on the wind. Okay, so over here I'd place some tiling, but I think instead I'm going to place a couple park plazas. These can function both as places to sit and as additional exhibit sites. Maybe where zookeepers bring out animals like snakes, birds, etc., and work with kids, you know, like an education center. And then I think I'm going to place a pathway to connect the two sides so people don't have to go around the circle. And then we'll put some places to sit around that pathway. And I think a little ice cream area, of course, lots of snacks. Kettle corn is actually one of my favorite snacks to get at the zoo. Zoo and baseball games. Fresh kettle corn. All right, well, I guess my line got deleted, so I'll show you one more time. Look, Bam, disappeared. Beautiful lines. Look at it. So happy it worked out that way. So happy. All right, so again, we're gonna fill in a couple areas. I'm gonna put a little like wishing fountain in where you can throw some quarters, make a wish, and then we'll place some more grass and shrubs and flowers and trees and stuff in this area. Holy cow, look at that influx of people. Again, there's so many people. How many? Oh my God, over 10,000 people. Gotta turn up that ticket price. All right. We are actually nearing the end of this. Look at it. It's all coming along. You can kind of see a couple areas that need to be filled in. But holy goodness, it's coming along great. I think if we just fill in this last couple areas, we only have one other thing to do. And I think we're almost done, honestly. Which is crazy. Kind of fill in these last couple areas. And then up front here, again, you know, the zoo entrance is super important. And partway through looking for signs, I found this cool octopus. So I'm going to put him in the front. Because I like octopi, especially when they're hot pink. Well, look at it. It's just so great. So now out front of the zoo, we're going to place a subway stop or a metro stop. And we're going to extend the zoo out, like the park out. I'm going to create this like a little park area. I'm thinking of putting like a little ice cream parlor, a little burger shop. It's just going to be a little park center outside of the zoo that is kind of attached where people can come via metro. I also have a bus stop that I put in that stops in front of the zoo. So we're going to decorate this area up. We're going to detail it with some trees. I think, you know, more pathways for people to walk. Plus, this will give people a shorter pathway to get to our zoo because, as we know, Sims in the game only have a certain radius that they'll walk or a certain distance. Oh my gosh, not a certain radius. Well, technically, I guess. So by putting the pathways and stuff here, it gives more tourist reasons to come over there, and then maybe they'll go, hey, a zoo. Which, I mean, is what I do. I literally went to New York and went to the Central Park Zoo and hung out with the penguins almost the entire time I was there. Anyway, back to City Skylines. So I'm going to put a bathroom. I'm going to put an info booth. I'm going to put lots of trees, of course. And imagine this. More places to sit and more things to eat. So we're gonna just make a little tiny outdoor market right by the metro station. Put some tile and some surface painter down. Oh, it's really coming together. I don't know many places that actually have as many trees as I put in this game. And I put a lot of trees. Because I feel like trees are expensive and I just fill up, I don't like green, apparently just blank space. Because even though I know it's technically grass, it just feels empty. So I want to fill it up, you know? Well, it is coming to the end of my guest appearance here in Ladies in the City. Thanks again to all the three wonderful ladies, Sunken Ship, Grattles, and Joy Build Cities. But this is it for me. S'mores and I are gonna go to bed, and I hope you enjoy this short zoo tour.